Hi everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earle and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity? Failure is such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. Today I sat down with my friend Adrienne Ronck, who was born and raised in West Texas and lived in South Florida for 10 years. Adrienne shared her journey of perfect pregnancy that ended with major complications during delivery, which left her now 6-year-old daughter Ivey with special needs and many health challenges. She shared the truth about being a single mom that had to go through countless hospital visits with many different diagnoses, requiring quick, most difficult life and death decision making, constant attention, awareness, energy, flexibility, dedication, and patience. The dynamic duo currently lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and their mother-daughter connection is like none other.
My labor plan was have an epidural. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me an epidural. And some people, they want to do it naturally. That was no. I wanted just give me an epidural and see what happens. Like that's all I care about. I'm a big baby and I didn't want to feel anything.
Right.
So it started happening faster, and it was just me and my mom in there. And she said, I'm in a place, they were having a hard time getting the heart rate. And they said, I'm going to place an internal heart rate monitor. And literally all hell broke loose when that started. They said, I just heard alarms going off and people just rushing in, and they flipped me onto my left side and were compressing on me and saying, breathe, 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 breathe. And I had no idea what was going on. I thought, okay, I'm dying. I just thought I was dying. I was telling my mom I loved her. And I just remember thinking, oh, this sucks. I hope this doesn't hurt. But they said, get as much oxygen to your daughter as you can. We need you to just breathe. And they put an oxygen on me. And that's when it dawned on me, like, it's not me.
It's the baby,
It's my baby. And basically, Ivy was born not alive. I mean, she was just absolutely born dead. And she had lost 50% of her blood when I abrupted.
50?
The over 50 is what they say, but they said nurses have told me later that they've never seen an infant lose that amount of blood and be alive. So that was the first thing. They said she was absolutely white when they took her out. A nurse pointed to the rail of the bed on her crib and said she was this color. She did not have a heartbeat for 9 minutes, and she did not have oxygen for 25 minutes. They actually intubated her wrong into her stomach. And so they were pumping oxygen into her stomach for quite a while before they realized that she was intubated wrong. So she maybe could have survived her birth, with minimal, it's hard to tell. But that's when she basically had a stroke and severe brain damage. They say about 50% brain damage to the tissue, which does not grow back, or, it's gone. So while that's happening, they're doing compressions. The nurse told me she was doing compressions nonstop. And, people were trying to move her over and take over. And she she moved over to the head, a different way, but she wasn't stopping. And she said, she just kept saying, come on, baby, come on, baby. And you carry a baby for 9 months. You can't even imagine that yearning to hold them. Like, you feel their every move. You know when they wake up, when their hiccups are going to start. You are so connected. And especially with such a wonderful pregnancy. I mean, every minute was just, I could not wait to hold her and see her and smell her. And just, I mean, I was living for that moment, and I couldn't even see her. And, fast forward, like later, I remember just laying in my hospital bed that night, just crying because I couldn't feel her anymore and I couldn't hold her. And it was just so empty. It was so empty and awful. And I was on the maternity ward, so I could hear babies crying. And I remember my mom she would come behind me and put her hands over my ears because, I didn't have my baby. And I didn't know if I ever would.